Hey friends, welcome back to my channel where we talk about books. So I think in June I'm going to do my TBR slightly different. Don't worry, I'm not getting rid of Bookopoly because I love playing Bookopoly and I love the prompts and all of it. I just love it. However, every time I put up a TBR video, the next day or the next week, I see that there's these really cool readathons going on in the next month. And I didn't take that into account or anything when I was picking my books for May. So that brings us to here. There is another YouTuber called A Beautiful Chaos of Books. I will link her announcement video in the comments below. But she is hosting a mental health readathon. So you just read a ton of books that have representation of some sort in it for mental health. And it can be nonfiction, it can be fiction, it can be whatever you want as long as you're reading about mental health. So I have 10 books here that have some kind of mental health representation. I'm not going to read all 10 because I don't have as much time on my hands as I used to. And as I did in April, because it's the end of April, it's almost May. So I am going to show you all 10, let you tell me in the comments below which ones you've read and which ones are really good and which ones I should prioritize over the rest. And then I'm going to kind of just mood read within those books that I picked. So it's a little bit of like TBR that hopefully I'll get to, but I'm not promising to read them all. I hope that makes sense. Please give this video a big thumbs up for me, and you'll get to see more of this guy. His name is Jellybean. But let's just dive right in. I'll start with the mental health representation book that I got on my TBR. So this one is for sure going to be read. And spoiler alert, if you want to watch May's Bookopoly, this is one of my 5 books. I'm going to link it right up here. I think that's where it goes. It might be on the side, but I'm pretty sure it's over here. Wherever it pops up, go check it out after this video, of course. So, the first one that I'm for sure going to read is Hold Still by Nina LaCour. So, this is Caitlin. And Caitlin's best friend, Ingrid, died by suicide. And this is kind of Caitlin's story without Ingrid. Kind of what happens after someone takes their life. And I think that it's a very important topic. It's something that I don't think we think about when we're in that headspace. I don't think we think about that. We don't think about the people we're leaving behind. And this is a very intriguing book to me. I know it's just going to wreck my soul. And that's why I haven't read it yet. Because it's been on my shelf for a while. But I'm ready for it. Kinda. I'm still pretty nervous because I do know it'll wreck me. But I think we need to read these kinds of books. And then, now I'm just going to jump into the 10 books that I could potentially read. They are the 10 I'm going to kind of mood read from once the majority of my May TBR is finished. So let's just get on into it, I guess. So the first one is The Far End of Happy by Catherine Kraft. And that just looks gorgeous, right? But this is about a woman, Ronnie. Okay, Ronnie's husband comes home one day, and she thought she had taken all the guns out of the house, but apparently she hadn't. And her husband gets into a standoff with her and the neighbors and police. And it's a suicide standoff. So there's some kind of suicide representation. My theory is that he comes home and he kills himself, but it doesn't explicitly say that. It just says suicide standoff that will change them all. So, trigger warnings, definitely. And I feel like this one will definitely wreck me too. So, I just think it's really important to read about people who take their own lives or who think about it so that you can kind of understand more. I think that too many people, there's too much of a stigma around it. I'm not condoning suicide at all, but they're in a bad headspace. And I think that more people need to understand the bad headspace so that people can get help before they get to suicide as the only choice that makes sense. And I'm already getting emotional, and I just barely started this video, so whew. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This actually, let's do all the suicide ones. I think there's only 2. So this is the last one. Well, I guess 3 because Hold Still 2. But The Incident on the Bridge by Laura McNeil. So this is about a high school girl named Bisbee who just got broken up, who just broke up with her boyfriend. And I think she's fighting with her friends. And, you know, it seems like the end of the world when someone sees her car parked on this bridge. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a bridge right there in the back. Hopefully you guys can see it. Her car is parked on that bridge, and someone claims to see her standing on the bridge like as if she's gonna jump. And her sister does not believe that she would do that, even though she has been depressed. And this is kind of a mystery that you get to follow as Thisbe's sister investigates what happened to her. And again, I feel like it's going to be heartbreaking, and it's going to just rip my heart straight out of my chest. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't mind when books do that. I cry, and I feel it for a long time. But those books that really stay with me, those are the best books. Okay. So I'm going to move on to this next one. I don't know much about it, and I don't know if for sure it has mental health representation. So if you've read this book, leave in the comments below if I'm totally off base or not. But I think that there is some kind of depression and grief in this book. So, See All the Stars by Kit Frick. And again, I don't know a whole lot about this one. I think that it's about grief and depression and fighting that to find your happiness again after a big devastation in your life. If I'm completely off base, please let me know in the comments below. I honestly don't know much about this one at all. And I'm not going to pretend that I know. And then, okay, so this one, I did a little bit differently. I think that alcoholism is a sign of mental health. And, well, here, let me just, I'm thinking about Now Is Everything by Amy Gills. But this is about this girl who does anything she can to protect her baby sister from her alcoholic, abusive father. And I think that it qualifies for mental health. I don't know, you could go either way and say that it doesn't, but I think it does, and so I'm gonna go with it just because I really want to read it anyway. So it's one of my choices. And then I never see books like this. So this is Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton. And this is about a schizophrenic high school student. He doesn't want Maya to find out that he's schizophrenic. So I think it might be him falling in love for the first time. And I don't see enough schizophrenic representation out there. Not very many people write about it. So I'm very intrigued by this. I also, side note, I don't have any of this book down here, but I really want to find autism books with good autistic representation. Please leave those in the comments below as well. Just leave everything in the comments below. I would love to get to know you. Okay, I have 4 books left, so I'm going to go with this one because I don't know a whole lot about it, so I can't really talk about it too much. I don't even know if it technically counts, but Running with Scissors by Auguste Burgos. I'm so sorry, I mispronounced that. But one of the prompts on the bingo board is nonfiction. This is nonfiction. It has representation. I believe his mom gives him up because she's having hallucinations and she's depressed. So I'm counting that. I think that's what it's about. Then I have 3 left. So Shadow State by Elsie Braden. So this is about Bryn, this girl on the cover, who I believe that she finds out that she is she was abducted as a kid, and she's just starting to remember. So her whole life is basically a lie because that's her abductors, not her actual parents. And she goes into a deep depression because of that. Because I think that she's a high school or college age student. I think she's a high school student. And she's really into science. And so she did, on her own free will, she took a DNA test of her parents. And it came back that she's not related to them. So it's kind of like a whole switched at birth thing. Only she has no one to be switched with. She just she thinks she was abducted, and she starts to get memories of being abducted. So that sounds amazing as well. And when I say amazing, it might sound really morbid or bad. It's not that I like hearing about... I like hearing about mental health, and I like getting it represented in literature and in the books that we read and the characters, you know? And I don't think anyone's perfect, especially me. So I love connecting with these characters on a much deeper level than, oh, that person's autistic. Oh, that person's schizophrenic. No, it's not. It's, he is a person who also has autism. She is a person who also has bipolar. He is a person that has a disease. And I don't think people talk about that much. There's such a stigma around mental health. And it's so sad because we're all people first, regardless of what disease I have or disorder you have. It doesn't matter. We're all people. And that's why I like reading about this, because yeah, it's a person who attempted suicide, or God forbid, who took their own life, you know? But they are people. Don't put them in that little box just because their last action might not have been the greatest, and you might not agree with it. We're all just people. That's why I love these kind of books. They wreck me. They rip my soul and my heart to the ground, and they kick it in the dirt while I'm already bummed. And, you know, I love that feeling. It breaks me, but I love it because it gives me a new lease on life, and I can see from someone else's perspective. Sorry, I rambled, got off topic, but I had to put that out there, okay? And all these books have some kind of trigger warning. I'll probably put them like down here somewhere in this general area for you. But I have 2 books left, and so let's just finish this off on a good note, right? Let's just finish this. Okay. Anything But Okay by Sarah Derrier Littleman. This one I've also had for a while and have not read because I know it's gonna wreck me, and I think I'm ready. So this is about Stella and Farda. They are best friends, and until Farda's brother, I think it's, Stella's brother, Rob, comes back from the war, and Stella thinks that he is just kind of depressed and sad, so she tries to take him out and get happier, you know? But I suspect that he has PTSD because he just got back from war. And you can't just click something like that off. That takes years. Sometimes you never get a cure for that. And so I kind of really want to read this. I really want to read them all at some point, honestly. And the last one is one of my newest mental health representation books. It is Breathing Underwater by Alex Flynn. And the thing that's really cool about this is that most of these are like letters from Nick. I think that it's like a journal. It's Nick's journal. So Nick and Caitlin are together, and then Nick hurts Caitlin, and he hurts her so much that he ends up getting court-ordered anger management. And I feel like there's more to it than that. I feel like he has something wrong with him that's deeper, and I really want to read it. But it says he promised he wouldn't hurt her. Was his anger bigger than his word? So it's like his anger kind of took over him. And I know people who used to be like that. They have autism, and they have ADHD and things like that really made them not be able to control their emotions. And I really connected with this book and with Nick. I feel like there's a story there. I mean, there is a story there, but you know what I mean. I feel like there's more and meets the eye than just his anger. And I really want to understand, and I really want to read it. So those are all my choices for the May Mental Health Readathon. Thank you for joining me for my TBR or my TBR options. And I'm sorry that I went on a rampage in the middle of this, but I guess it had to be said, okay? So Jellybean and Alida are saying goodnight, and we will catch you in the next video. Before you guys go, look at, he's like literally holding my hand. Like, he never does that, so I don't know what's up with that. But thanks for joining us. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.